Hello again. Okay, so the second example that is on your notes, it's on the right hand side. However, I'm guessing some of you are on a brand new piece of paper, is 1, -1, 1. And then our solution is -4, so that's row 1. For row 2, the coefficients are 2, -3, 4, and the solution is -15. And then the third equation is 5, 1, -2 with the solution of 12. Okay, remember, our goal is to get those two zeros. Personal opinion, I'm aware. Okay. Since 1 is the first element in the first row, this guy, yikes, there we go. I'm going to use him, and I'm going to use him twice at the same time. So I'm going to create a brand new row 2 by taking a -2 times row 1 and adding it to row 2. Okay, that's going to cancel out my 2 and get a 0. And I'm going to do the similar thing to row 3. So I'm going to create a brand new row 3 by taking a -5 times row 1 and adding it to row 3. Okay, now I'm going to do this twice, but both times I'm going to refer back to the original matrix. So 1, -1, 1, -4 is the first row. Okay, referring back. Okay, we're always going back to this guy right here. Referring back to the given matrix, I have -2 times 1, because it's the first element in the first row, or plus 2, and that gives me a 0. And then -2 times -1 is 2, plus -3 gives us a -1. And then -2 times 1 is -2, plus 4 gives us a positive 2. Okay, don't forget about your solutions. So -4 times -2 is 8, plus -15 gives us -7. Okay, I'm going to go back again to the original matrix and do that whole process, but with rows 1 and 3. So -5 times 1 is -5, plus 5 is 0. -5 times -1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. And then -5 times 1 is -5, plus -2 is -7. Lastly, for the solution, we get -5 times -4, which is 20, plus 12 gives us 32. Sweet. Okay, so we have our zeros. I'm now going to get a 0 in the bottom. So where that 6 is, I'm going to make this a 0. And I am going to make that a positive 1. Okay, so first, in order to make a new row 3, I am going to take 6 times row 2 plus row 3. Because my zeros will stay 0, which is really nice. We won't have to get those back again. And then we can use -1 and 6. And then I'm going to take row 2, and I'm just going to multiply it by a -1 so that that becomes a positive. Okay, so we're not doing anything with row 1. And to be honest, if I don't have to, I'm not going to, because my first element is already a positive 1. So why mess with it? Okay, here we go. Row 3. So we're using, again, we're building off the previous. Okay, we're using this guy right here. So I'm going to take 6 times times 0. Okay, so we have the 0 still. Okay, so 6 times -1 is -6, plus 6 is 0. 6 times 2 is 12, plus -7 gives us a positive 5. And then 6 times -7 plus 32 should give us a -10. Okay. For that second row, we're just multiplying everything by a negative, so its signs are going to change. Sweet. All right. Notice what we have so far, you guys. We have a 1 and a 1. So the last thing that we're left to do is to, wait for it. Anybody know? We're going to multiply row 3 by 1/5. Because if you multiply it by its reciprocal, it becomes a 1. So 1/5 times the old row 3. Okay, so we have 1, -1, 1, and -4 for row 1. And then 0, 1, -2, and 7. Okay, here we go. Zeros stay the same. 5 times 1/5 is 1. Negative 10 times 1/5 is negative 2. Boom! We are in we are in row echelon form, which is that right there. Okay, so let's solve it. That bottom row means that z is negative 2. Okay, the middle row says y minus 2 times z is equal to 7. So we just found that z is negative 2, so I'm going to substitute that in. So we get y plus 4 is equal to 7. So y is 3. All right, last but not least, we have x minus y plus z is equal to negative 4. So we get x minus, we found that y was 3, plus, we found that z was negative 2 is equal to negative 4. So we get x minus 3 minus 2 is equal to negative 4. X minus 5 is equal to negative 4. So x is 1. Last step, write it as 1, 3, and then negative 2. And our final answer is done. Sweet. Super easy. Okay, I have one more to show you. You guys can write this wherever you want.